When the lights go out in a city, people don't suddenly become evil. They become desperate. And desperation strips away politeness, patience, and restraint faster than most people realize. It starts quietly. Traffic lights die. Stores shut early. Phones stop updating. Then the pressure builds. People argue. Crowds tighten. Everyone starts calculating what they need versus what they have. That calculation is where things turn dangerous. Urban survival does not begin with riots or explosions. It begins with movement, access, and decision-making under stress. The people who suffer the most are not the weakest. They're the ones who assumed the system would always be there to catch them. This video is not entertainment. It's not fantasy. It's not about looking prepared. It's about function. 6 urban survival gadgets that earn their place because they solve real problems when a city starts to fail. Urban survival comes down to one truth. You either control your movement and your options, or someone else does.
Cities compress risk. Everything is closer. People are closer. Danger is closer. There is no distance to hide mistakes, and there is no time buffer to recover from hesitation. In an urban emergency, you are navigating crowds, confined spaces, darkness, and injuries that happen fast. Parking garages become traps. Stairwells become choke points. Hallways turn into blind corners. And help does not arrive on your timeline. Prepared people don't panic. They move with intent. They make decisions early instead of reacting late. These 6 tools are not about fear. They are about control. Control of movement, control of time, control of outcomes. Miss one of these and the rest won't matter.
The first gadget is the low-profile sling bag, and this is where most people sabotage themselves. This is not a backpack. Backpacks are slow. Backpacks get grabbed. Backpacks broadcast that you're carrying something worth taking. A sling bag stays tight to the body, swings forward instantly, and lets you work without stopping. A proper urban sling bag has one job: keep you mobile without advertising capability. It needs fast access so you can retrieve critical gear in seconds. It needs internal discipline so every item has a home. And it needs durability because concrete, metal edges, rain, sweat, and stress destroy cheap gear quickly. The wrong bag doesn't just slow you down. The wrong bag turns you into a walking supply cache. Pack it lean, light, medical, tool, water. Anything else has to earn its place. Speed is survival in a city, and speed disappears the moment you overload yourself.
The second gadget is a real multi-tool, not a novelty and not a toy. Urban emergencies are full of small problems that become big problems if you can't solve them quickly. Something is jammed. Something is blocking your path. Something breaks when you need it most. A quality multi-tool gives you options when others stall. Cutting, gripping, turning, prying, fixing. Quietly solving problems instead of standing there hoping someone else handles it. Cheap tools fail under pressure. Locks slip, steel bends, hinges seize. That failure costs time, and time is the one resource you never have enough of in a city emergency. This tool should live on your body, not in a drawer, and you should be able to deploy it one-handed without thinking while your attention stays on your surroundings.
The third gadget is the vehicle escape tool, because cars kill people after accidents, not during them. Jammed doors, locked seatbelts, smoke, rising water, confusion, panic. People freeze because their brain can't process the moment fast enough. This tool exists to override panic. A real escape tool must work one-handed, instantly. It must break tempered glass without effort and cut a seatbelt without exposing a blade that can injure you under stress. No batteries, no thinking, no excuses. And placement matters more than ownership. If this tool lives in a glove box, it's useless. If it lives in a trunk, it's a lie. It must live where your hand already goes, even when your vision and coordination are compromised. Seconds are not theoretical in a trapped vehicle. They are final.
The fourth gadget is a compact trauma kit, and this is non-negotiable. In urban emergencies, people don't bleed slowly. They bleed fast, and they bleed out long before help arrives. This is not about comfort. This is about stopping life-threatening bleeding when no one else is coming. A real trauma kit supports direct pressure, wound packing, and tourniquet use. It is staged so the most important tools are accessible immediately. Not buried, not sealed beyond use, not decorative. Bandages don't save lives. Bleeding control does. People don't die because they didn't care. They die because they didn't have the right tools ready when seconds mattered.
The fifth gadget is emergency shelter and heat retention. And cities lie to people about this. Buildings feel close. Warmth feels nearby. Safety feels assumed. Until doors lock, power fails, and wind tunnels between structures strip heat faster than you expect. Cold degrades judgment. Wetness accelerates failure. Hands stop working. Decisions slow down. And once your body starts losing heat, everything else becomes harder. A compact emergency shelter system buys you clarity. A heat-reflective layer to retain warmth. A wind and rain barrier to stop heat loss. Cordage to control shape and exposure. This isn't camping. This is preventing hypothermia long enough to make good decisions and move intelligently.
The sixth gadget is a serious flashlight. Darkness is not neutral. Darkness hides hazards, hides exits, and hides intent. In an urban blackout, darkness gives danger the advantage. Light restores control. It lets you identify threats early, judge distance, find exits, and move with purpose instead of hesitation. A real flashlight must dominate space when you need it, conserve power when you don't, and be accessible without digging. This is not emergency gear. This is daily carry. If you don't carry light, you surrender initiative a moment the power dies. Darkness doesn't just hide danger, it gives it permission.
Remember, the beginning, desperation changes people. These 6 tools keep you ahead of that curve. You don't need all of them at once, but you do need to be honest about your weaknesses. No light means you're blind. No medical means you're on a clock. No escape tool means you're trapped. No mobility means you're predictable. Gear only works when it's carried, staged, and practiced. Ownership alone does nothing. Build deliberately. Fix gaps. Stay mobile.
My bonus item is protective gloves. And I'm talking about real work gloves, not thin disposable ones. In urban emergencies, your hands are your lifeline, and they are constantly at risk. Broken glass, twisted metal, rough concrete, splintered wood, hot surfaces, cold exposure. Once your hands are injured, everything else you carry becomes harder to use or completely useless. Gloves let you move debris without hesitation, climb or brace without shredding skin, treat injuries without contaminating wounds, and maintain grip when stress and sweat kick in. They also protect you from infection when sanitation collapses, and from cold when dexterity matters most. People underestimate this because gloves aren't flashy, but professionals never do. Losing hand function means losing speed, losing control, and losing options. Gloves preserve capability when conditions turn hostile. That's why they live in my kit every time. Hands are life. Protect them.
If I had to add one bonus item that almost nobody respects enough, it's cordage. Real cordage, not cheap string. Paracord or equivalent strength line turns every other piece of gear you carry into a force multiplier. With cordage, your sling bag becomes a chest rig, your poncho becomes shelter, your emergency blanket becomes insulation instead of trash, and broken gear becomes functional again. You can secure doors, create distance alarms, stabilize injuries, lash splints, drag weight, hoist supplies, rig light sources, and control space without confrontation. In an urban environment, Cordage gives you leverage without noise, without power, and without attention. The biggest mistake people make is thinking Cordage is camping gear. It's not. It's control gear. Control of shape, control of movement, control of resources, and control of time. If everything else fails, Cordage still works. No batteries, no permission, no infrastructure. It weighs almost nothing, costs almost nothing, and solves more problems than most gadgets ever will.
Choose one of these 6 and make it real. Carry it, test it, stage it, because when a city flips from normal to chaos, you won't have time to think. You'll only have time to act. Links are below. Stay prepared. Be savage. This is Lady Prepper.